we're already at 95. Like this clip, I'm just gonna keep filming. Watch how fast this is dropping. It should drop about a mile every single minute. 95 right there. This is insane.
Oh, what's insane is that you're complaining how these electric cars lose range so fast at 1 mile every single minute, yet you're realizing you're going at 60 miles an hour, right? Which is another way of saying at 1 mile every single minute. Now, if this was the dumbest thing that you said about electric cars to millions of your subscribers, I would just take my headache medicine and continue watching the rerun of Sex and the City, but you have misled and misinformed them so many times that now I have to pause. Carrie and Samantha, put my pants back on. I should definitely put my pants back on and make this rebuttal video.
E4 Electric!
Ooh, welcome to E4 Electric. Nah, I'm just gonna treat my pants the way this guy treated facts. I'm just not gonna bother with them. How did he even pull this off? Normally, to convince people of so much bullshit, your video has to have an adorable dog or a cute girl.
Marshmallow Dog is just living his best life in the snow. The truth comes out.
Now, this is how this whole thing started. A friend of mine called me and said, Alex, you gotta watch this video by this very popular YouTuber, and this is why I don't want to buy an electric car. And that made me very upset, because who makes calls anymore? Are you actively being eaten by a Komodo dragon? No. Then learn how to communicate like normal people, with short text messages mainly made out of emojis. So I watched the video, and this guy is a popular YouTuber, the Stradman, with over 4 million subscribers. That's roughly, carry over 4 million more than I have. And I don't mean to single him out. I actually never heard of him until, you know, the call. But the reason so many people believe so many things that are simply not true about electric cars and thus slow down the adoption of what's actually good for them, at least for those with that nasty habit of, you know, breathing the clean air, is because big YouTubers and other social and TV media personalities tell so many lies to their viewers. Do they want to spread the lies? Most of the time they don't. They just don't know any better, even though a little bit of research would prove them otherwise. Like how a speedometer works. And people believe those lies, like electric cars are a scam, there are not enough chargers to go anywhere, they catch on fire all the time, they cause hair loss. Alright, I might have made that last one up myself. Electric cars don't cause hair loss. Your kids cause your hair loss and a positive bank account balance loss, but electric cars don't. So let's go over all the things that the Stradman said in the video, that what we in the industry call, and I don't mean to overwhelm you with the professional terms, bullshit. But before that, a quick reminder that this video is brought to you by Electron. Look, one of the biggest challenges with owning an EV is finding convenient and reliable ways of charging it. And it's no secret that most EV drivers like to charge at home. That's why Electron built the powerful V-Box in-home charging station. It provides up to 48 amps of power for your J1772 EV. It adds up to 46 miles of range per hour and fully charges your EV in under 6 hours. Simply plug in your car at night and wake up to a full charge in the morning. Get one today using the discount code in the description of this video. So first of all, this guy goes out and buys himself a Hummer EV, which is the first electric car that GM has made on their new platform. GM has made less Hummer EVs last year than I made videos. That's how new it is. So modifying it with new wheels and taking it off-roading was just not a good idea in the first place, but he did. But what he didn't do was educate himself on the inner workings of this particular very unique EV, including some issues that other YouTubers like him have already encountered. And when you buy a toy and you don't know how to use the toy, you may break the toy. So while he was playing around with his toy in the mud, which was very entertaining, I must admit, what happened was the toy has crapped out and gave him a pretty clear error message which he did notice and even read out loud.
And adding insult to injury, service high voltage system.
Yes, you should service the high voltage system. This was when it should have become very clear to him that something was wrong with the part of the truck that had to do with batteries. Now, part of the blame does lie with GM, because that error message should have been bigger and redder. But since he didn't seem to know much about EVs in general, or this EV in particular, and started experiencing charging issues, he just started blaming every single charging station he saw.
1 in every 5 of these things actually works. The majority of them are broken. It would appear we're pretty much stuck here in Green River, Utah for the inevitable future. All these third-party ones are just absolute garbage. This one doesn't work. The 2 in Moab didn't work. None of them work. These chargers don't work either. I'm telling you, maybe 15% of the chargers actually work for EVs. These third-party chargers are complete garbage.
Now, I actually contacted Electrify America and asked them to trace that particular location and see if at any point within the last 30 days this location had all chargers out at the same time. And unsurprisingly, they have confirmed that that was not the case. Now, if he would have watched some videos of other YouTubers like himself doing the same thing before him, he would have known that there was a fix for this particular problem.
Yeah, it should be under here.
Under there?
Yeah.
Let's pull the battery. Okay, there we go. You know, the problem is it's just a computer, right? And
You would think they'd
like
very simple.
Yeah, you think
like if you need a tow mode, there's a little button or something.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Controlled Alt Delete, right? Some version of that. All right, try it. I think it's working.
Yes, Control Alt Delete, Stradman. And on top of that, at the very least, you could have called OnStar and got help from them since it is a GM product. So you didn't even try to fix the problem, but just started blaming the chargers. Now, at some point, he finally realized the inevitable, that it was indeed the Hummer and not the chargers, but only a few seconds later, went back to blaming the chargers.
I think it's safe to say we have determined the Hummer is the issue, unable to charge, see charging station. It's a bit hard to read. Charging start error, charging could not be initiated. Please ensure your vehicle is plugged in correctly. Your credit card has not been charged. I've now officially come to the conclusion the Hummer is the problem. It's not the charging stations, the Hummer is the problem. That being said, a lot of the charging stations don't work.
Now, another thing that most experienced EV drivers know, that if you need more range out of your EV, you follow a big rig. Sometimes you can even double your range that way. But what did the Stradman do when he saw one?
Just love the irony. Everywhere we go, there's tankers full of fresh fuel as we slowly wither away in our EV vehicle, and my voice is squeaking, adding insult to injury, and my girlfriend is laughing at me as she's wrapped up in a sleeping bag because we can't afford the heat. Yep, EV life.
Yes, I do love the irony. I just don't think we're talking about the same irony. It's like rowing in a lifeboat in the middle of an ocean and seeing a big cruise ship, and instead of yelling for help to be saved, just waving hello. Oh, hey guys, hope you're having a good time. Try the lobster in the main dining room. Yeah, it's delicious. Okay, gotta go. Bye now. Then, when he finally was able to charge, he went on to talk about the charging costs.
Now, we just sat here for 41 minutes. It cost me $19.80, and we added an additional 64 miles for $20. It is more expensive to charge an EV, plus we had to sit here for 41 minutes. It's a scam.
Well, we knew he wasn't very good with math, and this was just another demonstration of the failure of American public schools. But if you're comparing the most expensive way to charge your EV, which is the DC charging, and you're charging the biggest, least efficient EV in the world, and then comparing that to gassing a regular average sedan at the cheapest way to fuel, well then yes, those may be close. You're not comparing apples to apples. You're comparing apples to watermelons. I can't believe this one doesn't fit into my lunchbox. But wait, he was not done yet. He had time for one more misleading statement.
So if you're thinking about buying an EV that's not a Tesla, don't go on a road trip.
That's not true either. Granted, Tesla's supercharger network is better than others because it's made only for Teslas, and others, like the Electrify America, are made for all electric cars out there. But I am someone who has been traveling through the US since November and using nothing but the third-party charging stations, and I have never ever had to have my car towed because it ran out of juice or made my girlfriend wrap herself into a sleeping bag to keep her warm. Mainly because imaginary girlfriends rarely get cold. And even after all that, he still was blaming everyone but his lack of planning or knowledge on the very truck he took out to the middle of nowhere.
Can't even make this stuff up. What did we do wrong? We drove an EV. Empty again. Hallelujah, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't think we were gonna make it. This is a story of inspiration and legit survival. I truly don't believe that I did anything wrong. I don't know what the problem is.
Now here's the thing. If he was telling the story to his other bro friends, no harm, no foul. But he has a substantial following of people who trust him. And he even attracted another big YouTuber, who I think is a gamer, to spread more bullshit. And people listened, like this guy at BronxBorn70, who has joined the overall EV bashing in the comments section. Some of his followers felt there weren't enough baseless claims, so they had to add their own that they have heard from other YouTubers without bothering to check the facts. Like this one who said, "Where do you think the charging stations derive their electricity?" Hint, it isn't wind or solar, because you've been brainwashed. LOL. Yes, it is from wind and solar. LOL. More and more so with every day. The renewable energy usage is already at 20% here in the US and even higher in many other countries, and it is going up and up and up every year. So no one is trying to wash your brain. We're just trying to jumpstart it. And those few comments that did set everyone else, including the Stradman straight, had to actually show some facts and math, which of course made them too much to read and too much to think about for most people. So, dear Stradman, you seem like a nice guy, with a nice dog and a nice girlfriend, so please be nice to us, your audience. Research your facts, present both sides, and you can still slide down the hill in your fancy truck and make it into a, what do you call it?
A story of inspiration and legit survival.
Right, of course. Now, I think I've done my job here, so I can go back to my TV to watch Sex and the City pantsless. Meanwhile, looking forward to all of your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.